Okay, so ammunition recovered from 3 infiltrators neutralized. So this is the ammunition that was taken from these infiltrators yesterday, and now it's been neutralized. Those are the visuals on your screen. Now joined by my colleague Mufti Islam, who's live with us from Baramulla. In fact, Mufti, this was the infiltration bid that was foiled in Uri, and 3 foreign terrorists were killed. Now that ammunition being neutralized.
Absolutely. Look what is happening here. All set for the press conference of GOC 19 Div Ajay Chandpuria. Clearly, the soldiers, as of now, have now decked it up. But we gave you some shots of this particular recovery of arms and ammunition. Prime among them really is the M16 rifle, which is a Chinese-made rifle, probably making its way into Valley for the first time. These are the kind of weapons which are there, and in fact we are now waiting for the GOC to come and brief the media. This was an encounter which raged in the hills of Kamalkot area in Uri yesterday between 8 and 2, that is some 6 hours. There was this fierce gunfight which took place after army detected an infiltration. 3 people were coming near the fence. The army waited. The troops were alert. When they came closer, they were challenged. They were told to surrender, which they didn't agree to. And thereafter, a fierce gun fight ensued in those hills. We're talking about hills which are about 10,000 feet. Clearly, when that encounter ended, 3 infiltrators were killed. Now we're picking up that all of those infiltrators are actually from Pakistan. And in fact, this was a series of a 4th infiltration attempt which has been launched on either side of the Pir Panjal. Remember that 2 infiltration attempts took place on 21st and 22nd, but that happened in Nowshera sector of Rajouri. But this one was extremely significant. Perhaps after a long time, Uri witnessed an infiltration which, however, was thwarted by the alert army jawans, some of whom are very much here. You will clearly see in this wonderful campus, beautiful campus at Baramulla, where they're getting really lined up and waiting for their boss to brief the media also waiting, as you can see. But this was a huge kind of a recovery which the army made yesterday, and it follows up the spate of encounters which took place along the line of control in Rajouri, where at least 2 militants were killed. 1 was captured in 2 separate incidents, and that 1 militant in fact revealed that he was pushed onto this side by a Pakistani army colonel who in fact had given him 30,000 rupees to carry out terror acts inside the Indian territory. All in all, the army saying that, well, we expect more infiltration attempts, because what Pakistan has done is that they have massed large number of infiltrators at around 40 launch pads, and whenever they get an opportunity, whether on this side of Valley or the other side of Jammu, they're going to push those, and that's what is playing out in last couple of weeks. Because as I've been saying, in the last 5 days we have witnessed almost 4 infiltration attempts, but all 4 have been thwarted by the army on this side of the Pir Panjal and on the other side of the Pir Panjal.
Mufti, this is a victory of our intelligence inputs, of our Jawans and of the army, because they laid specific ambushes based on these inputs that they received. But as you're telling us, you know, almost 40 such attempts may be made. The area has been mapped by the Pakistani militants or whoever now, you know, the militant there saying that it was paid by the Pakistani army. So a lot of cause for control there. But our Jawans there, definitely, you know, this is one victory, but definitely a victory of our inputs and the fact that they successfully laid those ambushes and were able to neutralize those 3 terrorists.
Absolutely. I mean, key is the intelligence. They're getting the intelligence, and then they are bolstered. This intelligence is really bolstered by the technology. Remember that now there are sensors in place, there are fences, there are thermal imagers, and these kind of aid the army in thwarting these infiltration. Now, yesterday in that encounter which one witnessed, there was 2 para also which was into the game. There was also 8 Rashtra rifles which fought those militants and ultimately killed them. And you know, there was also some input from the Baramulla police. So all in all, these forces worked in tandem, and they could achieve what they achieved yesterday, killing those 3 infiltrators who were trying to come in with huge ammunition. You clearly saw in those visuals not only the guns, the rifles, or for that matter M16 Chinese rifle, there were a lot of cache of arms, there was a lot of ammunition, then dry fruits, there were apples also, medicines which generally are given to Fidain. What kind of activity they had to do, we're not sure about that, but certainly a Pakistani hand felt in that, given that there has been some stamps in one of the rucksacks which have been recovered by the army. All in all, success not on this side but on the other side of the Pir Panjal also, where the army has successfully been able to thwart these spate of infiltrations that take place. As I've been saying, that there are inputs with the army from the Northern Command which suggests that in the coming days and weeks, Pakistani ISI will try to push in more and more militants into this site, and that's what is happening, what is at play.
Mufti, thank you very much for joining us, for bringing us a story of success there. But we have to move on.